Welcome to Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace, and welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. Tonight's topics, we will be discussing CASSIE and P.DIDDY, 50 Cent, Joe Budden and NBA YoungBoy, Charleston White, WACK 100, and agents in hip-hop. This is Coffee Talk Podcast. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Cultural Variety Podcast Show. Peace, blessings. Salam, how y'all doing? It's December 30th, and New Year's Eve is tomorrow, and we start a new year. How do y'all feel about that? How do you feel about that? What are you taking from this year into next year? What are you leaving behind for the new year? Go ahead and leave a comment. Let us know what's on your mind. And again, welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast. This is our Grown Folk Social Hour. We always do this on Friday and Saturday. We have a guest, we take questions, Q&A, or we go dolo and we just give you the flavor, man, like we always do 3 times a week. But tonight, I want to get into some topics, man, and it could be controversial, our thoughts, but I love for us to share them. Let's have open dialogue tonight. We definitely going to be talking about CASSIE and P. Diddy. Now, understand that we did cover this about a week ago, as well as Joe Budden and NBA YoungBoy. But I thought I want to dive a little bit deeper into the subjects, and what I'm in a reflective way, I should say. Excuse me, and what our thoughts are now that it's been a month of everlasting bullshit drama is what we call it. But we're going to discuss it tonight because it's Grown Folks Social Hour. This is where we grown folks come together on the show, and we just, do it like we do it. It's a social hour, so we're going to talk like we talk at the bars. Our language may be a little vulgar for you elders, and so we do apologize for that. Please understand that we are a Cultural Variety Podcast show, so we give you our cultural studies night on Mondays, Sunday, Monday alternate nights. On Wednesdays, we cover sports. Not like your typical sports show, but we do like to give you the different intricacies that goes on in the world of sports. And then on Friday and Saturdays, we like to let your hair down if you got hair. If you got hair. I don't have hair, but I try to make it work. Hey, well, what's not. But that's what we do on Friday, Saturday night. We like to have fun, let our hair down, and just enjoy celebrity entertainment and whatever else comes to mind. But that's what we do. So yeah, welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. If this is the first time tuning into the show, we never start the show without giving you the flavor as well as its wise word. That's something that we've been doing for the last 2 years now. That's our intro. We know to give you the flavor. You know what I'm saying? The flavor can be a drink. The flavor can be some affirmation. The flavor can be anything that's flavorful. Anything that's pushing us in a positive. So that's how we came up with that concept, as well as the wise words. The wise words is to uplift you. The wise words is to inspire you. The wise words is to send you some affirmation. The wise word is to keep pushing you to never give up, man. So that's what we really care about here at Coffee Talk Podcast. We are the new media. We don't want your likes. We don't want none of that if it's based on negative. But tonight, we want to uncover a few things. So it's different than our other nights. But thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right on in. Tonight's flavor You know me, man. I'm sipping on a little bit of three things right now. I got me a cold iced tea. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I need some water, and I want to get a little bit of iced tea just to give me, you know, give me a little bit of caffeine. You know what I mean? Keep my energy up and whatnot. Also have a little bit of wine cooler. I can't really show y'all the brand. I don't have no endorsement deal, but it's definitely dope. It's called Purple Crush. It's a cognac. 9% alcohol is what I have in my wine cooler. Yeah, I do wine coolers. All the tough motherfuckers is like, you drink wine coolers? That ain't shit. That ain't gonna get me drunk. No doubt, I ain't into getting drunk. Man. I like to have me a nice little buzz. I don't really partake in alcohol like that. You know what I mean? Give me a nice little buzz, man. I'm good. I'm a social drinker. And then on top of that, I also have what else? Got the tea and the wine cooler. But what are you sipping on? Go ahead and let me know what y'all sipping on. You know what I mean? What is the flavor tonight? What is your flavor for tonight? It can be water, wine, a smoothie, a latte, a cappuccino with beer, some red wine, whatever you sipping on. Go ahead and let us know what it is. Put that in the comments here at Coffee Talk Podcast, because that's how we do it on Friday, Saturday, Grown Folk Social Hour. Go ahead and leave a comment. While you're there, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to Coffee Talk Podcast, a cultural variety podcast show. All right. Next up is the wise words. Never start the show without putting some wisdom in the air. So tonight's wise words is this. It's by an actor, an author, a great pioneer, a legend when it comes to actors of all kinds and colors. Mr. Sidney Poitier. He was born February 20th in Miami, Florida. And he went to the Essence January 6th. January 6th, 2022. So we just lost the great Sidney Poitier. So we definitely want to give a shout out to him for that. But let's go ahead and dive into his wise words, shall we? Mr. Poitier stated, in America, it is difficult to be your own man. I'll say that again. Make sure that you chime in your comments on what you think about that and where that takes you. But Mr. Sidney Poitier's wise words was, or is, in America, it is difficult to be your own man. In America, it is difficult to be your own man. Mr. Sidney Poitier. Mr. Sidney Poitier wrote a book. And the book is titled The Measure of a Man, a Spiritual Autobiography. So if you are interested in checking out a book by Mr. Sidney Poitier, or one of his great movies, man, you also can find the movies on YouTube or any outlet that plays Sidney Poitier. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to get the book, I'm sure you can go to like the Amazons or any book dealer out there to get the book, The Measure of a Man, a Spiritual Autobiography by Mr. Sidney Poitier. But that's the wise words for tonight. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news, and some of it I've covered in past podcasts these last 2 weeks. And I just felt like I want to just stay on topic right now because it's such a hot topic to discuss, of course, and that's what we in this business for. We are content creators. No lie about that, But let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's open up with CASSIE and P.DIDDY. Now, here was my thoughts on CASSIE and P.DIDDY, and please feel free to join in our chat box. We definitely can see you live. We definitely want to comment with you. So peace to you and welcome to the show. But we're talking about Cassie and Diddy for the first opening segment. And here was my thoughts, man. Because again, tonight is called Reflections. And these are the topics. From what's been reported, and alleged, but Cassie and P. Diddy had a relationship for 11 years. And I had to defend Cassie at one point where someone asked me, they said, yo, man, why didn't she just come out and say something? And I said, you don't understand that pressure of fighting a billionaire. You know, $1 billion is worth a lot of money in a lot of third world countries. So you can't just come out like that. I defended her in that part. And you know me, I'm a reflector, so I'm reflecting whenever, just reflecting on things. So I may reflect on something for 2, 3 times out the week. And speaking of Cassie and the Diddy situation, what is interesting to me is the fact that in the court documents that she presented to the court upon Diddy settling, right? She went after him civically, not to lock him up, but civically. She got some M's, allegedly 30 million, some allegedly say 50 million, some allegedly say 100 million, blah, blah, blah. But what I have a problem with is that all of a sudden she goes away. Now, let me rephrase that because, yeah, he paid to settle with her, allegedly. He paid to settle with her in her complaints of how she was mistreated in this relationship. This casual relationship. The problem that I have is if these things were done to you, and I'm not saying they wasn't, I just want people to think about some things. They sound tragic in the court reports, in the document that is, public anyway. And if all those things took place again, I don't know, I wasn't there. But why wouldn't you want that person, that aggressor, that person that done these things to you to be locked up? I know some people probably want to take their life if somebody did them like that. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, money makes that go away. Yeah, I understand he settled with her to make it go away. But he can't make her emotions to what she went through go away. And how can money do that? You just forgave after 24 hours of receiving your money? What made you go after the money and not want him in jail? Now, some people say, she should get paid for all the things she went through. We play both sides of the lens when we're giving in our opinions, right? Just open dialogue. But if somebody did something to you physically, where I'm from, wouldn't you want to get some cat back, some clap back, as the young people say? So it just is curious. It's interesting to me how when you get that money now, everything goes away. Now, let's go ahead and stretch this a little bit. He pays her, right? Allegedly, he pays her. Well, it's not allegedly. Everybody knows he settled. That's public, right? So he settles. And let's assume that settling means, okay, look, I'm going to settle with you. I don't want to go to jail, blah, blah, blah. But in this settlement case, you can't go tell people what was done. You have to shut your mouth from here on, and I'm paying for you to shut your mouth, right? Now I get to thinking, damn, if he did all that, paid 30, 40, 50 million, now shit is just coming out. Other people are coming out trying to shake money from this man or whatnot. And I'm not sticking up for Diddy, but I'm just want to just let's just look at a few things that's going on. So here comes the shakedown, people. Everybody wants some money from him. Everybody wants to break him. Everybody wants to throw stones at him. But here's my first thought. I'm going to dive in this for a little bit longer. My first thought is it even safe to party with people anymore? Is it even safe to party with people anymore? Now, I'm not sticking up for P. Diddy, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is it was good all just a week ago. People all across the country done went to college parties, hood parties. You party with your homeboys, you party with your homegirls, whatever. But is it safe to party with anybody these days if people can come back 20, 30 years and say, oh, at the party, this happened and that happened, and then all of a sudden you're ousted business wise, endorsement wise. Whereas sometimes people can't remember shit from last week. That just goes to show, though, what times we are living in, because again, you are now guilty before proven innocent, whereas it used to be you're innocent until proven guilty. Another thing that I'm looking at when I'm thinking about this Cassie P. Diddy incident is you starting to notice a pattern. Are you starting to notice the pattern now? It's been a month, but it was a week with Diddy, then Jamie Foxx, then a couple other brothers, Vin Diesel. All black people are being attacked. Black men. Are you paying attention to that? Or are you just lost in the name of the characters? It's Diddy. Fuck Diddy. He has something to do with, you know what I mean? Are y'all caught up with the character names or are you really watching the patterns? What happened to the other characters, the Harvey Weinsteins and all that? There ain't no more. He was the big fish, allegedly. And since then, it's been brothers. And it's been masculine brothers. Some say Diddy dibbles and dabbles, whatever. That's not part of this story. I can care less what that man does. But I know his imagery and all of these men's imageries is masculine. Now, whatever they've been doing, again, if you was not there, then it's alleged, and it's also you don't know if a person's hating on you, spread rumors on you or whatnot. So I'm not here to play games like that. But I'm here to just say, man, you notice how it went from P. Diddy to this other brother here, this other brother there, this other brother, and it's just the brothers. And then you have one storyline where the sister, the actress, uh, Taraji, comes out talking about underpaid actresses, the same as Monique. It's like the whole old media, that's what we call it. The whole old media is just attacking our people. And so that's what I'm getting from just the start of talking about Cassie and P. Diddy. I don't get caught up in the distraction part. Oh, Cassie sued P. Diddy. I get caught up in the thoughts of, okay, Cassie, so why don't you want him to go to jail if he did all of these crazy things? And I also understand, I also know, I don't want to play the understand game. That's wordplay. But I understand what the word consent means. He was there for 11 years. However, like I had said in my opening statement, dealing with a billionaire, it's hard to move. He can be scaring you and doing all those things. So I side with her on that. I also like to look at things from both lenses. That's just what we do. That's what the new media does. We don't want to be the people that watch these podcasts and get caught up in what someone's showing you from the left side. You get caught up and now you hating people and all this and that. And you're not really looking at it in the bigger picture. And why do I say that? I say that because, like Malcolm X has said, the media can make you look guilty, bro. The media is one of the biggest, if not the biggest enemy, because they can direct how people view you. What do you mean by that, Saba? Can you elaborate a little bit more? Absolutely. There's a psychologist. He was born July 26, 1875. His name is Carl Jung. Jung. Well, maybe perhaps we will dive into him in another episode. But his wise words was this. He says, thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. Thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. Carl Jung. And so that goes to my point of, is it safe to party anymore with people? You might not even be about no FOs. Is that what they call it? Cassie and Diddy's parties, FOs, fuck offs. But I'm just saying, domino parties, whatever type of parties, is it cool to party with people anymore when people can pour things up and basically castrate you in the public eye? You get the money and all of a sudden, you know, you take some money from a man, okay, but if the man did a lot of bad things, when you want revenge, or we said, are we going the Christian route? I forgive. I don't know. I'm not here to be the judgment of that. Tell me what y'all's thoughts are out there, Coffee Talk podcast supporters. As I take a sip of my wine cooler. But let me know what your thoughts are, man. What's your thoughts on that? Are you paying attention? Let me know. Isn't it kind of odd that a lot of black people, every story in old media right now is about black people, and it's black men that are being attacked? While we over here getting distracted from it, that's being shown to the whole world. And the world goes, maybe the Americans are right. Those black people don't know themselves. They don't want to know themselves. They don't have no knowledge of themselves. I know I said that 3 times, but I'm so serious. All right. Moving right along. Tonight I want to talk about 50 cents. And this all has a chain reaction from the opening statement, the opening segment as we continue. But I got a problem with 50 Cent. One, personally, I like 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? I like his shows and shit. There's some things we could have discussions on, especially in the earlier Power episodes. But not going to discuss that part right now. I do want to discuss though how 50 Cent has been rubbing all this shit in P Diddy's face, based off of the allegations that went on with Cassie and P Diddy. And I just want to say this is that um, I was told to never kick a man when a man is down. So when I talk about 50 Cent, that's what I'm thinking about. Again, this is reflections tonight. We're just reflecting, and these are some of the topics that I want to talk about here on Grown Folks Coffee Talk Podcast Social Hour. But doesn't it seem like 50 Cent, man, just comes and kicks people when they're down? And as I was thinking about 50 Cent and his full-fledged comical, I should say, and sarcastic way of talking about Diddy throughout different various cuts and stuff that are shown in social media, but and him kicking them down. That's just not respectful to kick a man while he's down. It's just not. But what I was thinking about during all this time with the 50 Cent fiasco is back when Irv Gotti said that he was the police. Y'all remember that? Now, I'm not personally saying 50 Cent is. I'm not saying that. My part is, never kick a man while he's down. But I mentioned the police situation because it's kind of odd, and this is going to lead into some other characters we're going to talk about. How people can get paperwork on people, and yeah, some of it's public, but a lot of shit don't be public, and people be having information on them. And it just takes me back to agents in hip hop. It takes me back to the COINTEL. I like to call it the COINTEL Project to destroy black males, and they use whatever they can, whether it be other black males or whatever figures, public figures, political figures, food, whatever, to destroy the black male. Which leads me into Charleston White. Charleston White reminds me of this, y'all. There used to be a show. I don't know what channel it comes on. It was back in the day. But it was a show where it was like a cop show, right? And they would take a semi truck and they would park it in the middle of the hood. And they would leave the back of it open, and in the semi would have some type of products in it, bikes, musical equipment, shit like that. In Chicago, some say that this is natural, and there be even guns in there. And the word for that is called enticing. Enticing an individual. So you could take a person that is not a criminal But based on opportunity, a person can make a good decision or bad. So the enticement is more of a lure, a cast, a bait. Put $1 on the string and pull the string to lure you, to entrap you. So when I think about gentlemen like Charleston White, I feel he's a snake, and I don't really care if he sees this video. Again, Coffee Talk Podcast is grown folks social hour, so our native tongue in cheek is different throughout the other days of the week. We appear 3 days a week. We're a cultural variety podcast show, but tonight, Saba keeps it real. Mashuma keeps it real. I never thought I would see where a person can say all this shit, even if it's in social media, and a lot of it be threatening shit. And ain't nobody come to arrest y'all for that type of shit. Another person, again, we're discussing, WACK 1000. WACK 1000 to me is an agent. He's an agent to bring destruction into the black communities. Same as Charleston White. Bring confusion and bring destruction into the black communities. That's my opinion. Dude always has paperwork on somebody. Dude is like my age. He always wants to fight somebody. He acts like a child. Like, dude, ain't you 50, 52 years old and you still gang banging, brother? You still talking about you a pull up on everybody like you 10 times Mike Tyson? Shit's corny, man. It really is. And to me, the only reason why people talk like that is because they're agents. Because they can go get fucking I don't want to say Secret Service men type shit, but that's what it be on. They'll talk shit to you because they're not going to be the ones to do it. Like if somebody called out WACK 100 and accepted his shit talking on, they go, "Oh, pull up." Well, pull up then. See, it'd be some other shit. It wouldn't be him. 50-year-old man always talking about fighting, always being on these goddamn uh clubhouse shows with these goddamn kids. Ain't saying nothing, no inspiration, ain't sharing no affirmation, no how to, but just keeping shit going like a female. Charleston White too. And Charleston White, I have a love-hate relationship with him. Because when he's speaking truth, I'm there. I'll share some in the post. Like, yeah, man, he's speaking truth right there. But that's what a snake does. A snake has a forked tongue. So he'll lure you and he'll soften you with the positive, hit you with a truth bomb here and there. But if you're watching, watch these people. He reveals himself all the time. And then he uses his little slivery as, oh, I was part of the city. I helped with city things. I just want to say to him, motherfucker, a lot of us did that. You talk about that shit and people let that shit ride like you the only motherfucker that's did some type of work in the community. You got me fucked up. We was doing that shit before it got trendy. Got me fucked up. Because see, when we was giving back to our community, and we still do, we don't do it for a nonprofit group. We don't do it for some motherfucking political party or anything like that. We do it because that's what we supposed to do. You ain't got to pay me to talk to a young man. If my heart wants me to do it, I'm going to do it. If Allah blesses me to do it, I'm going to do it. Regarding self. So I remember late 90s hip hop, man, where they started talking about the Asians was coming into the hip hop game. You know, a lot of rappers even talked about it. DMX talked about it. A lot of different rappers talked about these agents in hip hop. And at first, when it first started to bubble, it was like a New York thing. But as you hear on these other podcasts, when all these different characters be talking about the incidents in California or the incidents in New York or the incidents in Texas or whatever, they always talk about how they had undercover police involved as their securities and all that. People can go on these podcasts and say, I'll pull up on you. Isn't that a threat? When I see you, it's on. Isn't that a threat? So how can you threaten somebody? See, I'm a 90s nigga. So if we was to threaten you, especially on social media, because here it only takes a phone call. But if you threatening somebody, motherfuckers will show up at your door talking about they're arresting you and shit. At least for 24 hours until they figure out what's what. So how do you get to do that? How do you get to travel the country, going to all of these different inner cities? Ain't hiring you to come the fuck out to Mendota Heights or any of these suburban areas. They're hiring you to go into the black communities and talk stupid shit and have your little slivery excuse on how you can bait people and trap people and then slither your way out of that shit, you fucking snake. I had a debate with a brother where a brother was defending this whack motherfucker, Charleston White. Charleston White grabbing a motherfucking uh flower pot, throwing it at one of their fans. Talking about the fans shouldn't have, come on, man. You don't do that to nobody. So you got jumped. You should have been jumped. I'm just keeping it real. What's y'all's thoughts on that, man? Let me know what's y'all's thoughts on Charleston White, WACK 100, Agents in Hip Hop. Let me know what your thoughts are on 50 Cent. 50 Cent, you never kick a man while he's down. What's your thoughts on 50? Hey, you notice as all of our black men are under attack, it's also black men that are being the circus ringleaders that are talking shit instead of showing some type of unification. And maybe Diddy don't deserve it. But I still say you never kick a man while he's down. Let that man go through whatever he's going through and let that karma come back to him if that's what it's meant to be. But it shouldn't be another brother down in another brother and laughing at the shit and playing off the shit. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You don't kick a man while he's down. I can see if they had beef towards one another. Maybe they do. Who knows? But that's just my thoughts. Go ahead and let us here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure that you let your friends know Coffee Talk Podcast, the powerhouse podcast, coldest podcast in the country, Coffee Talk Podcast, the cultural variety podcast show. The new flavor, the new meat. All right, next segment. We're going to discuss Joe Budden and NBA YoungBoy. And we did this on a past episode. So you might want to go back probably about 2 weeks. We had discussed the Joe Budden NBA YoungBoy incident where basically Joe Budden said the boy was garbage, man. And other news outlets, social media outlets asked NBA YoungBoy his thoughts, and he looked at them bitches. He acted just like his mother. He acted like a little boy without a father. Why everybody, when anybody criticizes this young man wants to fight. Like, if motherfucker, first of all, it ain't nobody saw you fight. All you ever do is grab guns. That's pussy shit. Let's see you get in one of those celebrity boxing shows then and be that hard motherfucker that you are. Because one of the problems I have with NBA young boys, I done seen you with makeup and shit on. I done seen you looking real girly, acting real fruitful. So you can't turn that shit on and turn that shit off with me. I'm an OG. I've seen it. I've seen real gangsters. Been around real gangsters. Lived with real gangsters. You know, all of that. One minute you want to paint y'all's nails black and put lipstick and shit on, and the next minute you want to use your fingers as a trigger and influence our kids to do ignorant shit, such as the ignorant shit that you are portraying to our children. Now, normally I wouldn't even go this far and be feeling like I'm dissing, but I am dissing because it's trash to influence our kids in such a negative manner. If you are a hip hop artist, a lyricist, a MC, then be that. But all that tough shit, boy, if you that goddamn tough, take your little punk ass to the army and go fight in Kuwait or some motherfucking way and show us how tough you are. All that other shit, we ain't buying that shit, man. You don't have lipstick and shit on. Y'all don't believe me? Y'all go to YouTube and pull up his pictures, man, and go to images. I ain't never listened to an NBA young shit. I think he's a little demon. Just to fuck with our people. That's what I think. That's my opinion. So be it. What is y'all's thoughts? And please don't be no fruitful ass fan popping up all in your feelings. But like I said, do you feel that his image is affecting our youth? And you can say, well, all the NWAs and all them did the same thing. You know the difference between a rapper, and an MC. A MC, and then there's a rapper, RAPPER. Then there's a rapper, WRAPPR. You're trash. That's how I view this young man. Be known for your music. Don't be known for always wanting to fight people just because they give their opinion on your whack ass music. Shit's garbage, G. It's garbage. And so when Joe Budden called it out, one of the things I had said was, because I love hip hop and I love battles. Battles is part of hip hop. But I know what, that boy NBA young boy ain't lyrically ready for Joe Budden. And I know y'all may talk shit about Joe Budden, calling him a square, whatever. I personally, I'm okay with Joe Budden. He lost me when he got to talking about that buy shit, but he all right. He all right. You know, I tune into the show every now and then. But lyrically, I respect him as an MC to the fact I know he'd get at NBA YoungBoy. Now, some of y'all don't know hip hop or y'all's media driven by what those people put out, the commercialized parts. Y'all might not know Joe Budden's catalog. The only thing y'all know about Joe Budden is he was smacked up by Raekwon and them, and the buy shit he came out about, and now the fact that he's talking about NBA YoungBoy. And he got a thing for Puerto Rican women. You know what I mean? That's all we really know about Joe Budden. I did like his situation when he was with what's some boys' names, Offset and them. Y'all remember that? That was a funny interview, man. Joe Budden got frustrated with them boys, walked off stage on. They wanted to fight Joe Budden. Because when Joe Budden feels you're garbage, you're garbage. And I ain't saying Offset them is garbage, because I used to didn't like them, but then I found myself bopping my head to a lot of their music. You know, so I like them. They are all right, but I do remember those times. Let me know what your thoughts are on Cassie and P. Diddy. You know, Where did that energy go? Why did she not send him to jail? Why did she I just want the money? Was it consensual then? The thing she did for 11 years. What's your thoughts of 50 Cent's kicking Diddy down when Diddy's down? Or anybody else 50 goes after? 'Cause 50 go after people. What's your thoughts on Joe Budden calling NBA YoungBoy whack in his music? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. What's your thoughts about hip hop agents? People that come into our communities through hip hop and through social media and just bring more confusion and disrespect and sellout and total agent type behavior to our culture. Charleston White, WACK 100, etc. What's y'all's thoughts on that? Go ahead and leave the comments. And when you're there, let us know how you feel, baby. You know what I mean? Let us know how you feel. Also, hit the like button. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the dopest podcast show in the country, Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast Show, with your host, no one other than Mashoom Saba M. Saba. And this is the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are tonight. All right, so I'm going to tell you what. This has been a 46-minute show. It's been a lot of flavor tonight. We talked about CASSIE, P. Diddy, 50 Cent, Joe Budden, NBA YoungBoy, Charleston White, WACK 100, agents in hip hop. Let us know how you feel. Get back with us. But until then, it is almost 9 p.m. Some of y'all about to get out in the club. It's Friday, it's Saturday night, New Year's Eve weekend. You want to go enjoy yourself. So I'd like to just say thank you for tuning into our show. Make sure you stop by again Sunday. We're going to probably do a Sunday. It ain't going to be a late show. It's going to be something nice for you during the midday afternoon, 1, 2, 3 o'clock-ish area. We're going to have a show that's going to, again, Cultural Studies Day and also New Year's Day. And other than that, man, I'll see y'all again on Sunday, which is tomorrow, right? So we'll do it tomorrow. All right. So until then, man, I'm gonna hit you with the universal peace sign. Tell y'all stay sucker free, man. Stay out the way. Continue to get you some flavor, man, and keep your flavor. You know what I'm saying? Sip on something for me. Put something in the air for me. Thank you for tuning in to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural